Hey everybody, I have Derek Hartman from Google here to talk to everybody today about how to move their business forward and keep it growing and what Google products they should be using. And then we got some hard questions from Heather Arlinghaus out in Kentucky. We look forward to it. Let's keep moving. Let's effing go. Digital Line is out.
My name's Derek Hartman. I work at Google. I've been there for a few years now. Before that, I worked in the advertising industry in New York. I've been partnered with Lance for the last few years. It's been great helping his business grow.
I'm Heather Arlinghaus. My husband and I, Brian, own Arlinghaus Plumbing, Heating, and Air. And we are in northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and Indiana. We've been in business since 2008. Just added plumbing about 2 years ago. And started working with Lance also here. And it's a great opportunity for me to get on here and ask you some of my questions.
Actually, me and Heather were just talking the other day and we were just chatting. Now you actually said your 2 days ago or 3 days ago was one of the busiest days you had all month, which is great for you. I mean, do you want to talk about that and tell us what's happening?
Yeah, I think for us, just changing up our target marketing, our SEO, our pay-per-click, and working on making sure that we're getting the right information out to our customers on what their needs are and keywords and ways to help them and let them know that we're here for them. I think that's been huge. Your team alone has been working on that for a couple of months with us, and we're just truly seeing, things turn around, and hopefully here in the next couple of days, it's going to be a little bit warmer to make it grow even bigger.
Awesome. So, Derek, I'm going to jump with you and Heather. I know you got questions. We're going to let you answer them at the end, and then you get the final roar because Heather actually is a leader in our space. There's not too many women-owned HVAC plumbing companies. I know your husband worked with you and helped you build this company from ground up. But, Heather, you're a big influence among the community in our space, and I'll ask you to get to that at the very end about how it's like to do that because I have the utmost respect for you and your husband and what you build. I know in this industry, which is predominantly men, you really stand out and separate yourself from a lot of other people. So kudos for you, what you've achieved.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So Derek, here's a question for you, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about why do consumers search? Because most people don't even understand that's really what Google's all about. Why are people searching and what are they looking for on Google, YouTube, and your other platforms? Just don't mind me asking you. It sounds basic. Yeah. I'm curious.
It's an interesting question because people don't always think about that. And that actually is a great question to ask because you want to think about it as marketers, like why are people searching? People search with intent. So they're looking to understand, educate themselves. They may have a very specific thing they're trying to understand, or they may have something that they just don't completely understand at all, and they want to get some more education and clarity around it. So knowing kind of what that need state is with the consumer actually is a great way to pivot and kind of address it from a creative standpoint for marketing.
So you want to make sure you definitely understand the difference between the intent of someone just types in what do plumbers do and someone actually says emergency plumber near me. They're totally two
exactly.
different things. So I'm trying to give
you two different opportunities. Yep.
So
yeah, maybe someone who can help by actually answering the question like emergency plumbing, like let me get you someone on the phone who can help you with that. But it's also an opportunity from a branding standpoint to show kind of what your business does and what you guys are all about.
Awesome. So why should people be doing digital marketing? I mean, I think they should be doing it all the time. I mean, it's 2020, and I love digital marketing, so I'm sick about it. I get it because I think it's the fastest way to grow your business. But Derek, from your point, you were actually in an agency that did traditional everything, if I remember correctly. You did quite a few points. Why do you think digital marketing is so important today?
Yeah, so I'll give you 3 points. Scale, accessibility, and accountability. So digital is great because there's a wide audience you can reach. It's easy to do, and like what we do from a Google standpoint, like our product's actually quite simple, quite easy to use for marketers, and then working with agencies to partner with clients, and then accountability. So everything from a digital standpoint is very trackable to the point where there's almost too much information. But yeah, like you can be quite accountable with your digital campaign to know what's working, what's not working.
Awesome. So we were supposed to be out in St. Louis on stage this week speaking, me and you together. So we did the webinar. And as many times you've seen me speak and we spoke together, the one thing I always say to people is creative matters more than ever now. You have to be creative. You have to stand out among the herd. What do you say about that?
Yeah. Creative is important because like when people are searching, like we talked about before, like they're looking for something very specific or they don't quite know. And your creative is that window of how you're going to answer that question, how you're going to address kind of that need state. So it's important kind of when you're building your creative out, like you really understand what your audience is thinking, what they're after. So just understand the context. So if they're on search and they're looking for something, what are the keywords they're searching for? If you're on YouTube, what audience are you speaking to? How are you targeting them? If you're on display, same case. Just understand kind of what is the context of it, and then you can build your creative around that so you're addressing the need that that person has at the moment.
Derek, final roar, what would you say to the viewers about or thinking about doing digital marketing in any way? What would you say to them?
The first step is really understand what you're trying to achieve. You have to have a very clear understanding of what your business objective is. So at the end of the day, if you're looking to drive sales, everything should be trying to drive sales, and then you build from there. So step number one is going to market with a very clear understanding of what you want to accomplish.
No, awesome. Heather, your turn. I know you have questions. I know you want to fire rapid, so feel free. Question number one from Heather.
My biggest thing is, how can I track my return of investment?
That's a great question, and we get asked that all the time. Derek, I'm going to take this one if you don't mind. So
Sure.
The nice part is with Google Analytics, with all the different tracking measurements out there, UTM codes, if everything is set up properly throughout your whole entire digital campaign, you could actually track and see where the journey started and how it ended and converted. So you could actually see if somebody first found you on pay-per-click, then went through an organic search, and then actually called you from a direct search. So that's the nice part about it. And with call tracking systems out there, they can actually tell you down to the keyword level query of what somebody called you on. So you can really, as it gets more and more granular, you can actually jump into the data and see what your ROI is. And you can actually, if you have in your industry tools like ServiceTitan and a few others, they'll actually try and bump the data up to as good as possible. The problem is they don't use assisted conversion, so I'm not happy about that part because they don't do the full customer journey. But you can actually break it down. If someone knows what they're doing, they can definitely track your ROI, break it down with you, and show you everything, and actually hand you over almost a customer list, unless it was a private call or a private email. Well, not email, but a private caller. They can show you all your chats, everything, and show you where it started and ended. So tracking ROI is not hard at all. What's your next question, Heather?
In saying all that, how can I see what's working and what's not?
Yeah, I can take this one. I think it's to understand kind of like what's working and what's not working. You'll be able to easily see in the platform. There's a lot of information in there about kind of what's performing, what metrics work, what metrics don't work. So have a very clear perspective on what you're trying to accomplish. It goes back to that point of, what is that business objective you're trying to achieve? And then use the tool, use the information, lean on Lance and his team to help you understand, are you meeting your goals or are you not meeting your goals? Because they can give you a good idea, like what does good look like? I think that's what a lot of advertisers do struggle with is, is this good? Is this not good? And then agencies can give that perspective based on their information they've run with other clients and just historical information and the research they have and the partnership they have with Google, just to understand what does good look like.
Just a couple more questions. As a full service business, what would you recommend that I should be doing on YouTube right now?
Yeah. YouTube's interesting because there's a couple ways you can actually approach it. Obviously, there's creators. That's the bread and butter of YouTube, creating content. And then there's also advertisers. So a brand like yours could actually exist on both sides of the fence there. You could be creators kind of showing people how to do things, simple things. And then what you're doing for yourself is you're establishing credibility with them. And then from an advertiser standpoint, there are audiences that are looking for things, how-tos, et cetera, to understand how to fix things. So the guy trying to fix his sink could be in over his head, and like you're there from a YouTube standpoint to help him make that call so he can get that pipe fixed. So you can really approach it a couple different ways, and I think both are actually valuable for brands because I think people want the education, but they also want to know that there's a reliable company out there to help them.
Absolutely. And YouTube has the second most searches behind Google, just so everybody knows. It's really a great platform for how-tos in your industry, educate people. Heather, something you could do is how to hire a plumbing company locally, how to hire and have a checklist and talk people through it and say, these are some of the things people might not know when they're hiring one. Make sure you're looking for this, because there are a lot of people that are uneducated buyers that go to YouTube on how to buy something. So that's a great starting point for you. And then you can get down more and more granular from there.
That's interesting. Okay. What should I be doing on social media?
I'll take that one, Derek. I mean, I love social media. I think it's one of the best things out there. I think for any local company, I don't care who you are or national, The thing I like about service-based businesses is someone like you, Heather, you're a family-owned business. You treat your employees like their family. You have no problem saying, me and my husband own this together. We built it together. We're proud of the community. Why not tell people that and put it out there on social media and let people know who you are and talk about it? Once again, separate yourself. Tell your story. Let people know you're credible. You're reliable. Give people facts about what's going on in the community. Let people know what's going on. Give people educational things. Run good ads. Build up an audience that people become the authority in your space. And that's really, and people say, well, what do you mean? Let people know that you're the authority expert in plumbing, HVAC, that you're not going to rip them off, that you're going to do the right repairs. You stand behind your work. Educate people, and then also talk about community issues, things like that. I'm a true believer, as you know, Heather, since you became my client. You see me on social media. I'm not afraid of it. Some people say, oh, my God, you live on social media. Well, know what? It's my business. It's what I do. And, that's the reason why my company keeps growing. And I see every people that do it right, their companies just seem to keep growing as long as they do it right. If you do it wrong, it could submarine you very fast also. Then I do all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google My Business is even though it's not a social platform anymore, it's a good way to put offers out there, a good way to tell what's going on. So you have a lot of different things that you can do, and that just goes to show you when you're doing something live. There you go. There's a lot of different things you can do to make it your social media kill it for you. So we're going to run out of time now, but Heather, I'm going to let you ask the final. Tell the people, I call it the final roar, Heather, in case you never watched the show before. Derek has, I know that. You get to tell people what they should be doing right now. Tell everybody about Arlinghaus. Tell us about the size, and then it'll make more sense to everybody. Tell us about the size of your company, your growth, what you've been doing, and, just really how you've scaled your company. But I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I think the biggest thing for us, we just started plumbing 2 years ago, and we're growing 30 to 40% every single year from the beginning. We have 65 employees, but I think the difference for us is, we have true people that are working for us. We have true people that want the best for our customers, for our business. They're not afraid to ask for a review, which tells me that they're doing their job when they're in the home and they feel comfortable for asking for those reviews. And you hit the nail on the head talking about the community and being involved. We wear pink. Pink is different. We stand out. People remember the color pink. So I think, for us, that's a huge difference for us. And it's exciting. We're growing, and with your help and many others, being in 3 different states is pretty amazing to me. So
I'm going to tell you this. Thank you both for being on the show, Derek. Heather, thank you so much. It's been great. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you both soon. Thank you so much.
So for the final roar, they have to be constantly out there marketing themselves on, Facebook, on pay-per-click, on their SEO, and they have to be saying a message that customers understand and can relate to. Especially when it comes to maintenance and installations, this is a huge investment for people that they might have never done before. So keeping them educated and then also letting them know why they should use you versus other people.